you listening to that is influencing the way that you think?
You know, who I'm listening to right now, Joey Badass.
Okay.
Yeah, man. That dude is crazy.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And a lot of energy and also representing his world here on the East Coast,
right.
too.
You know, he ain't afraid to be himself, too, you know, and I think hip-hop was just built on originality, you know, and it's going back to the essence of that.
Wait.
This ain't boom bap. This that boom bow bing.
This sounds familiar, bro. Where have I seen this before? Where have I seen this before?
And while you all got your phones out, I want to shout out Kendrick Lamar. Shout out to Kendrick. Kendrick was on my album. We went on tour together. That's one of the hardest live right there. He's legendary, so shout out to him. He should be standing right there.
Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1.
It doesn't matter who you serve. Babala, Allah, God, Jesus, Buddha, Ifa Tunde. We should all understand and live by the concept of what goes around comes around. The energy you put out there will usually come back at your doorstep. In terms of Kendrick Lamar, that energy, well, has finally came back to his doorstep. And for his sake and the West Coast sake, I pray and hope he really meant these lyrics.
What I learned is niggas don't like the West Coast, and I'm fine with it. I'll push the line with it.
In gang terminology, pushing the lines means to deliberately provoke or antagonize a rival gang, often by entering their territory or engaging in aggressive behavior. Ninjas don't like the West Coast. I'm fine with it. I'll push a line with it. I hope those words were true. I hope you weren't just talking or you weren't just babbling because you thought that you had an easy opponent in Drake. I hope that meant you ready for violence whenever, because somebody has came knocking at your doorstep wanting violence, Dot. That person's name is Joey Badass. And I hope we aren't just chalking up the cloud chasing because it's Joey Badass, right? Because as we saw, Joey Badass is taking the same blueprint that Kendrick took, backdooring the homie who showed him love, simply for the accolades the homie got. And it looks like Kendrick Lamar, you got to answer to this. And sending your tough cousin to tweet at Joey Badass don't count as a response, all right? No, sorry, Dot. You got to pick up that pen and rap, all right? Ain't no ducking this. Ain't no going away for 4 years again. You got to pick up that pen and rap. Now, if Hitter J3 want the lyrical smoke, I'm sure Joey Badass can reunite Pro Era and give y'all the smoke y'all want, but I don't think y'all really want that, all right? Don't get me wrong. I think Hitter J3 is a phenomenal rapper. I think he had the best verse on GNX. I thoroughly enjoy Hitter J3's music. I think he represents everything the West Coast stands for. But Hitter J3 is just one person. And if Kendrick and Hitter J3 thinks that they can withstand a Joey Badass, CJ Fly, Chuck Stranger, Rockamouth, and we're not even going to the Mistress T, nah, we just talking about the Pro Era rappers, right? If they think they could withstand those people going in the booth and then calling upon the spirit of the Indigo Child, capital Steez, let's just keep this to Kendrick and Joey, man. Let's not get too adventurous here, because I don't think y'all want that lyrical smoke. So let's be nice and keep this cordial, all right? Now, Joey Badass released a record earlier today, and in his record, he made it perfectly clear, man, that he's not going to sit by and allow Kendrick Lamar and the West Coast, to move forward with their agenda for world domination.
I got mirrors in my city, fuck the nomination.
The first song on Kendrick Lamar's album, GNX, was called Whacked Out Murals. In Whacked Out Murals, Kendrick Lamar rapped about how it's F everybody now. It used to be just F Drake, but now it's F the entire industry. It's fake love. Now that he's winning more than ever, it's nothing but fake love. It's people now wanting to see him reach these new heights, and he's sick of it. Joey Badass actually played on a Drake line. Kendrick just opened his mouth, somebody handed him a Grammy, essentially saying that Kendrick Lamar's Grammy nominations and Grammys are undeserved. They're just pandering by giving him awards. Joey says, yo, I got mirrors in my city. F a nomination.
This for every time they left me out the conversation. I'm back by popular demand and world domination.
It's so strange breaking this down because this is literally Kendrick Lamar's blueprint being used against him. This is a rapper who feels like he is too dope to be left out of conversations such as the Big Three conversations. So now he's back looking to take down and destroy somebody's career so he can get the accolades that he deserves. Sounds familiar, Kenny?
I'm finna bomb on niggas' plans fresh off my vacation.
The interesting part about Joey Bada's agenda is it's not a selfish one. You see, Kendrick Lamar, when he went at Drake, it was I want to be the guy. I want to be the heir apparent for the throne. I am the guy, right? I'm the next Hove, not you. So, but with Joey, it feels like this is an East Coast thing. He wants for New York to reign supreme again.
I was sitting back, watching from an eagle eye.
And as he's watching and sitting back and realizing the West Coast is clicking up, the West Coast is getting a lot of accolades, and it feels like the West Coast is moving and mobilizing to be the new mecca for hip-hop. And Joey like, nah, that can't happen. It's not happening at all.
Trying not to react, just give me one reason. I swear I'm on full attack.
And it feels like, well, it doesn't feel like Joey would express that him and Kendrick has unfinished business. And he still hasn't forgotten the Control verse where Kendrick Lamar called himself the king of New York.
I'm Machiavelli's offspring, I'm the king of New York. East Coast nigga till I die, it's clear who the heir apparent king of NY nigga.
If you guys don't know by now, bro, the industry hate the West Coast, right? Every other region in hip hop despises the West Coast, and for obvious reasons. For pretty good reasons too. Imagine being from New York, bro, and you look at one coast and one coast specifically being responsible for the death of every hot rapper that came out your city. In every generation, bro, they've been responsible for the death of every hot rapper coming out your city. And then they take out every hot rapper from your city, and then one of their own is claiming to be the king of your city after they done killed every hot rapper from your city. It's disrespect. Yo, West Coast dudes are, braggadocious. They extort everybody who come to this coast. They have been terrorizing hip hop for years, bruh. Every other region hates the West Coast. I mean, it's no secret, bruh. It just is. So Joey Badass being a real hip hop baby, being a real student of the culture, he's not about to sit back and allow the Fire Lord Ozark, aka Kendrick Lamar, to take over, to reign supreme, to world dominate, as he would put it. It's not happening. And we would explain that particular reference with the Fire Lord Ozark pretty shortly. So Joey has made it very clear, bruh. Listen, this West Coast run is over with, bruh. Too much. It's too much. It's time for it to be put to an end.
Too much West Coast dick licking. I'm hearing niggas throwing rocks, really ain't shit sticking.
That's a declaration of war right there. And he lets Kendrick Lamar know he's pretty confident. Joey is confident right now, bruh. Yo, Joey feels like he done mastered every element, bruh. He tells Kendrick, yo, you don't got enough to compete. You don't got enough to compete. Oh, that's something.
I'm out your reach, your arms too short to block the Elohim.
I don't know how successful this strategy is going to be against Kendrick Lamar, because Joey is doing the same strategy that Kendrick Lamar used, all right? Joey has put this out as a bait, and he has announced, listen, I'm not done with you yet. I got a lot more. Much like Kendrick Lamar's Like That verse was just a bait, knowing he had this stock of slander in the chambers for Drake. So Joey, at least he's being open with it. At least he's not being deceptive. At least he's saying, hey, listen, bro, I got a lot more. This is just bait. Trust me. We gonna dance.
Heard that they was looking for me. Okay, tell them here I come. I'm nowhere near done with you, nigga.
The story of the West Coast in hip hop is literally the story of the Fire Nation in Avatar. You see, the Fire Nation existed in Avatar along with other nations. It was fire, air, earth, and water, and they were all supposed to exist in harmony. But one nation had this appetite for power, which was the Fire Nation. All the other nations wanted to exist in harmony. The Fire Nation wanted to take over. All the other nations wanted peace. The Fire Nation wanted war, because war was the only means they could take over territory. And the only person who could maintain balance and keep the peace was the Avatar. So the Avatar became an obstacle for the Fire Nation because they couldn't really wage war on the entire planet because the Avatar was always there to stop them. So what they would do is whenever the Avatar dies, that's when they will move forward, with their plans for world domination. So the first Avatar Kyoshi, she passes away. Now, when Avatar dies, the Avatar reborns in a random person. So the Avatar reborns in a member of the Fire Nation called Roku. So now the Fire Nation is like, yo, we got the Avatar in our nation. Oh, we about to bomb on these fools, bro. It's over with. It's world domination. The Fire Lord and the Fire Nation only wanted power, and they didn't care who the power came in expense of. But Avatar Roku, the new Avatar, even though he was a member of the Fire Nation, he still understood his responsibility as the Avatar, and he knew he still had to be partial and maintain a balance. So when the Fire Nation wanted the Avatar to join them in conquering the world, or at least stand by as they conquer the world, Roku wouldn't allow it. And the Fire Nation, in their quest for power, they found a way to get Roku out the way. They found a way to kill Roku. So now Roku dies, and the Fire Nation now realizes there's no Avatar for at least a couple of years. So then they started to move forward with their plans, to taking over, conquering various nations, various cities, moving forward and destroying everything in their path. And right before they could conquer the world, a new Avatar is born. His name is Aang. Even though the Fire Nation was at their peak of their powers, and it seems as if they couldn't be stopped, the new Avatar, which was a kid, was able to stop the Fire Nation and restore balance on Earth. But then the question is, how does this apply to the West Coast and hip hop? Think about it. Whenever the West Coast is dominating, there's always a rapper on the East Coast who pops up to maintain order in hip hop, to keep hip hop balanced to where one coast isn't just overly dominating. And usually what happens is the West Coast either takes out that rapper or they try to take him out. So when the West Coast was dominating, well, the East Coast had Biggie, and Biggie stood up and restored balance in hip hop, and it bounced it out. Well, the West Coast didn't like that so much, so they killed Biggie, got Biggie out the way. So then they started to move forward. And eventually when the West Coast was restoring the order and taking over again, 50 Cent came in the way. 50 Cent became, the biggest rapper on the planet, and he was keeping a balance in hip hop. Well, the West Coast sent game at 50 Cent to take out 50 Cent and kill his legacy. That didn't work. So eventually the West Coast had to sit out and wait for 50 Cent to just die down naturally. And eventually 50 Cent died down because Kanye West took 50 Cent out the game. Unfortunately for the West, after the 50 Cent era was done, the West ain't really have an heir apparent. So the Atlanta scene took over. The Atlanta wave took over hip hop. And then eventually the Drake wave took over hip hop in 2011 and 2012. But the West, having this thirst for power, couldn't just stand everything being balanced in hip hop. So eventually they created the monster that we now know as Kendrick Lamar. And Kendrick Lamar waited 10 plus years to finally take out the balance, bro. Finally take out the Avatar, which at the time was Drake. Drake was the one who was not really claiming a coast, not really claiming a region. He was just the neutral party who was keeping hip hop balanced, right? Drake made it so Atlanta wouldn't have too much power, or the East Coast wouldn't have too much power, or the West wouldn't have too much power. Drake was the balance. And the Fire Lord Kendrick from the West Coast, he killed off Drake. Pop! And now the West Coast holds a lot of the power and is not really so balanced no more in hip hop, right? They getting all the awards, all the accolades. They getting everything now. So now there has to be a new Avatar, to kill off the Fire Lord, to restore balance in hip hop. And that new Avatar is Joey Badass. Joey Badass has to defeat Kendrick Lamar to restore balance. He just has to. Think about it for a second, people. Just think about it for a second, bruh. Think about the time where the West Coast was the most powerful region in hip-hop. Was that a good time for hip-hop? Just truly think about it for a second, bruh. Listen, bruh. Yo, the West Coast rules supreme, bruh. And this is an era of extortion, rappers dying when they come to the West Coast, bro. Listen, the West Coast about to really terrorize hip hop, bro. So Joey Badass is the only one standing in the way. And just like the Fire Nation, man, they sent the daughter, they're sending the sons at the Avatar, trying to capture him so the Fire Lord don't have to fight him. So apparently now, the OG Glasses, he put Rotten Tomatoes, all right, at Joey Badass. Now apparently they're saying that Kendrick Lamar don't have to respond back to Joey Badass. That apparently Absol or some guy called Lit Papa, which I heard the diss track for Joey Badass. And come on, bro, like come on, fam. These are the dudes they're saying. They're saying these are the dudes they're sending at Joey Badass to diss him instead of Kendrick stepping up to battle.
The niggas in the trucks that check they Nikes, they don't check in, they check out. This shit to make the haters bow their heads till they pop their motherfucking neck out. Something dope for the people, ask Jeremy Heck bout.
Hey, listen, man. I'll be real, bruh. The OG Glasses gotta step in before we gotta. Hey, listen, man. The West. If Lit Papa is who is stepping up to save the West Coast, man, y'all got bigger problems, all right? Let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think, all right? You know, apparently Lit Papa is sending warnings at Joey Badass. Hater J3 is sending warnings at Joey Badass. Glass is sending warnings at Joey Badass. A lot of other West Coast rappers, man, are sending warnings at Joey Badass, man. How do you think this is going to play out? Can Kendrick afford to just ignore Joey Badass, or do he have to step in the ring and battle? Let me know in the comment section, all right? And if you're still watching, click on this video somewhere on my screen, somewhere here, man, to find out about this huge Whack 100 and Adam 22 drama. I'm going to see you guys in this video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.